In the vast tapestry of time, Israel has often been seen as God's timetable, with a significant role in biblical prophecies. Today, let's dive into the video to unveil these prophecies, exploring whether the ongoing conflict in Israel holds a place in the script of the end times. Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, holds a special place in the hearts of many. Often referred to as the City of God, its name, City of Peace, reflects its significance. Mount Zion, where the city's fortress stands, is where God wished his temple to be built, becoming the focal point of his presence. According to the Bible, Solomon declared that God chose Jerusalem and Zion as his dwelling place forever. The return of the Jewish people to their ancient homelands, as foretold by prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Amos, further adds to the divine connection. Jerusalem in prophecy. Thousands of years ago, biblical prophecies foretold that the end-time events would revolve around Jerusalem. In Zechariah chapter 12, verses 3 and 4, God likened Jerusalem to an intoxicating drink, making nearby nations stagger when they besiege it. The Bible also predicted the scattering and regathering of Israel, marking the prophetic clock's start. The regathering following the Holocaust was a sign that set these prophecies into motion. Ezekiel 37 and 38 speak of a force from the north attacking Israel after its regathering, with many interpreting this force as modern-day Russia. Notably, one of Russia's allies in this predicted attack is identified as Persia, the ancient name for present-day Iran. Recent alliances and developments between Russia and Iran align with these ancient prophecies. As we witness conflicts like the Israel-Hamas war, some find a connection to biblical prophecies. Many evangelical Christians perceive these events as unfolding prophecies, linking them to the anticipation of Christ's second coming. The restoration of Jews to Palestine is seen as a pivotal element hastening the manifestation of Jesus. These beliefs, alive since the interwar years, gained momentum with the establishment of the modern state of Israel and its subsequent triumphs, such as in the Six-Day War. As in 1967, Israel achieved a remarkable victory, defeating three powerful neighbors and solidifying its borders. This success fueled the confidence of evangelicals who saw Israel as God's timepiece, marking what they believed was the final countdown. The anticipation grew for Israel to secure a definitive victory over its enemies and embark on the reconstruction of the Temple in Jerusalem. Jerusalem's role in future events. With its deep religious significance in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, Jerusalem plays a central role in biblical prophecies. According to Revelation chapter 6, verse 18, Jerusalem is envisioned as a key player in establishing God's kingdom on earth. Throughout history, this city gained importance during the reigns of David and Solomon, particularly with the Temple Mount considered the holiest place on earth and the third holiest Islamic site. Intriguingly, some prophecies concerning Jerusalem and Israel have seemingly been fulfilled, such as the transformation of barren lands into fruitful ones. Israel, once desolate, has emerged as a global leader in agricultural technology, overcoming challenges posed by its arid climate. Another prophecy gaining attention is the reconstruction of the Third Temple, considered a partial fulfillment based on scriptures like Ezekiel and Daniel. In chapters 40 to 48, Ezekiel provides a detailed vision of this future temple, outlining its measurements, design, and grandeur. It is depicted as a magnificent structure where God's presence will dwell among his people. This temple holds immense significance for worship and the full observance of God's covenant. For some, its reconstruction signifies the impending arrival of the Messiah, as foretold by Hebrew prophets, the quest for the Third Temple. The prospect of rebuilding the Third Temple is not without challenges. It has been a long-standing theme in Israel, driven by ideological motives and religious beliefs. However, the existence of the Dome of the Rock, built by the Umayyad Caliphate on the site of Solomon's Temple, has sparked tensions and contested claims. The Temple Mount has become a major flashpoint in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, carrying significant political weight. Efforts to rebuild the Third Temple have been slowly progressing since the Temple movement began in 1987. While many secular Jews support this initiative, Orthodox Jews who view it as a spiritual work are actively involved in its revival. The Sanhedrin, A religious body overseeing legal issues related to the temple has been revived by Orthodox Jews to oversee the proper rebuilding of the temple. Leaders in the temple movement express a profound belief that the absence of the divine presence, known as the Shekinah, hinders the Jewish people from living on the spiritual level intended by God. They firmly assert that rebuilding the temple is the key to restoring the Shekinah and addressing both the world's current problems and those faced by the Jewish people, preparing for the Third Temple. In preparation for the Third Temple, the Sanhedrin has undertaken significant steps to reinstate future temple service. Notably, the planting of the biblical temple forest aims to cater to the agricultural needs of the Third Temple. Additionally, the restoration of the sacred red heifer, crucial for purifying Jews as outlined in Numbers 19, is a project led by Rabbi Richmond, a Sanhedrin member. The Sanhedrin and the temple movement actively engage in reenactments of temple ceremonies to train the priestly class, known as Kohanim. This involves specialized schooling on priestly duties, the use of ritual vessels designed for the Third Temple, and practice on a unique altar of burnt offerings. This altar, designed for quick disassembly and reassembly, adheres to the requirement of building an altar exclusively on the original Mount Moriah site. A recent intriguing rediscovery by the Temple Institute involves reviving the science of producing biblical crimson dye, used in the high priest's garments and the temple's massive curtain. Professor Zohar Amar discovered that the eggs of the Tolat Shani crimson worm found in modern Israel could produce this vital dye. Now, political considerations come into place. While preparations for the temple are ongoing, there's a recognition that political actions are necessary to reverse the current Muslim control of the Mount and enable Jewish access. This aspect remains critical to the broader initiative, acknowledging the need for diplomatic considerations. Water libation ceremony. A striking event that has drawn attention is the reenactment of the water liberation in preparation for the Third Temple. Participants, including Kohanim priests and Levites, embarked on a procession from Shar Hashput to the Siloam Spring. Musical Levites led the ceremony with joyous instruments, and the procession culminated with the sounding of pure silver trumpets at an open area adjacent to the western wall. Also, the culmination of the recent procession was marked by the priestly blessing, a sacred tradition in which priests extend blessings to the gathered participants. Following this, a unique event called the Hakel ceremony occurred. Though not explicitly commanded in the Torah, this event holds significance in the oral tradition passed down from Moses. The water libation, a central focus during the joyous Sukkot celebrations, held a pivotal role in the ancient temple ceremonies. The ceremony involved a 15-hour process in the temple, with celebrations lasting through the night. Pilgrims worldwide joined in the international worship of God during Sukkot. The libation of water, accompanied by the pouring of wine, was a vital part of the morning service on the last 6 days of Sukkot. Descending from the temple to the Siloam Spring, Kohanim filled a flask with spring water, symbolizing purification. The subsequent pouring of water and wine into specially prepared holes in the altar was a symbolic act, deeply rooted in tradition. The Siloam Pool, with historical and biblical significance, served as a starting point for pilgrims making annual journeys to Jerusalem for biblical feasts. Armageddon and global turmoil. The Bible, through various prophecies in Genesis and Revelation, foretells a time known as Armageddon, a colossal conflict on the sacred soil of Israel. This battle, often referred to as World War I in biblical terms, involves global powers vying for supremacy. The anticipated outcome is the establishment of a ruler to reign over earth. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas is viewed as a confirmation of biblical prophecies about the end times and the regathering of the Jewish people. This tumultuous era is seen as both a land and spiritual awakening, aligning with God's prophecies. The establishment of Israel in 1948 and the current conflicts are seen as fulfilling these ancient predictions. As the world closely observes the Middle East, there's a growing sense of anxiety and concern. The ongoing conflict, coupled with Iran's statements about Israel's destruction and nuclear ambitions, raises questions about the fulfillment of terrifying Bible prophecies. The tension in the region adds to the uncertainty. leaving many to wonder if the unfolding drama is a prelude to the anticipated end of times. So what do you think of these terrifying Bible prophecies in Israel? Comment below and subscribe for more such videos.